Hello, is it me you're looking for? What's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little video for you. Afternoon transfer news show, guys. Yes, we did do the watch along earlier, but we're back on here to do the afternoon news. That's what we do around here. Afternoon show around about 4 p.m. and an evening show around about 10 p.m. So get used to the schedule, guys. That's what's going on every single day while the transfer window's open. Oh, yes. Good to see you all. Thank you, guys and girls, for getting in here again for another stream today. Who've we got in here? Let's have a look. Daz Sweets. How you going there, Daz Sweets? Thank you for getting in. Fire Up, The Hoop Man, Alex Cord, Johnny M, Alan Carter. Let's be having you. Aaron, thanks for putting the link to the Twitter in the top of the chat there, you legend. Welsh Hunter, Cass, Johnny, get in there. Jaden, how you doing? Nick Pendragon, good day, bro. Scoop as well. Ben Dorr, hello to you. Thugger 007, United 90, Kieran Mallion, Boomy, Chris Koo, DJ Disco Dave, Wazza, Boomy the Goat, and everybody else as well. Yes, there is an injury, Wazza. We're going to discuss all the latest news and stuff in a moment. But thank you, everyone, for getting in here for the show. Do us a favour at the start of this show. If you haven't done so, give us a massive thumbs up at the start of this stream. Share us around. Drop a cheeky little like on it. You know it makes sense. And also, like I say, you can give us a share, the pinned comment at the top of the chat there. Click that. That'll take you over to the Twitter account. Give us a follow on Twitter. Also, make sure you give us a retweet. We'll shout you all out later on in the show. Or you legends who give us a cheeky little retweet. That'd be much appreciated. Share us around wherever you can. And of course, if you are new to this channel today for the first time, get yourself subscribed. Hit the red subscribe button. Strap yourselves in for a raw show. And let's be having you. Get in and out the chat, guys. We want to hear from you. It's a fully interactive channel. We always get in and out the live chat. Thank you very much. It's gonna, I don't know, Ben Dorr, sometime. Thank you so much for getting in here, guys. When I'm finished there, Ben Dorr, lad, when I'm done, we will have a weight loss transformation video, absolutely. But, so, yes, for now, though, strap yourselves in, get your thoughts in throughout. Big Q&A at the end of the stream as well. Share and like and all that jazz. Let's get stuck in. Hello there, Bristolian Macabum Hoodstar and all you legends as well. Let's get stuck into the stream. So the biggest news, obviously, of today is that Manchester United faced RC Lens. Before the game, Rasmus Hojlund, our new £72 million signing, was unveiled before the Old Trafford faithful. Get in there, my son. Let's be having you. Let's get a hashtag Rasmus in the live chat. Oh, Rasmus Hojlund. Oh, Rasmus Hojlund. Get in there, my son. With his East 17 late 90s curtains hairdo. Respect to the guy coming in here looking like a beast. To be fair, big, strong, tall-looking lad, isn't he? Scandinavian vibes. So hopefully he's going to be a great player for us. Ten Hag, obviously very happy to get him on board as well. Him pictured alongside Eric is a nice picture. Obviously him with a big beaming smile on his face as well, signing the contract, so that's brilliant. You know, obviously very happy to see him finally arrive at Old Trafford and be here. Yeah, E17 vibes. Definitely there, absolutely. Stay now. So, yeah, but, you know, he looks like a big, strong unit anyway, which is obviously good. Physically, he's impressive. And it was nice to see how sort of happy he seemed being unveiled in front of the Old Trafford faithful. Brilliant, guys. Absolutely brilliant. So, of course, Manchester United did unveil the news earlier on today. Here is the information from Manchester United. Their tweet said Rasmus Hojlund is a red, with an accompanying picture of Rasmus with the old United vibes. So that's obviously brilliant. Get in there, my son. That's done. No problems there. It's understood, obviously, that he is a fan of Manchester United. So this is kind of like a bit of a dream come true for the guy. We got some quotes in regards to him and what Ten Hag said about him, etc. So let's get in and have a little cheeky look at that first of all, seeing as he's been made official today. Ten Hag said this about Rasmus Hojlund. He said that Ten Hag on why Man United invested on Hojlund. He said Rasmus has huge potential. He wants to score goals. He's hungry. It's always on his mind. Trust me, he has such a huge potential, and now it's up to him to exploit it, and we will support him, all the coaches and teammates. Get in there, my son. So Ten Hag obviously very happy to get this guy in. Feels like he's got big potential. Vutinator says we got 44 likes. That's good. We got over 100 legends in here. Smash the like button if you haven't done so. Drop a little like on this video and share it around. You know it makes sense. Let's get 100. Cheers, dude. Thanks for that, Vutinator. Right. So great quotes from Eric Ten Hag there. And Hojlund has returned the favour and spoken about Eric Ten Hag. And this is what he had to say about the old Dutch Stone Cold Steve Austin himself. It's not worked, guys. Why's that not worked? We've drawn a blank. Hojlund drew a blank when he was asked about it, guys. Hashtag fail army. That's a fail right there, guys. But here's some quotes of him in regards to Manchester United being a fan. So he says that it's no secret that I have been a fan of this great club since I was a small boy. I've dreamed of walking out at Old Trafford as a Manchester United player. I've the opportunity to work with one of the best coaches in the world. Get in there, my son. So he obviously feels like it's a great opportunity for him to play at Manchester United. He likes United. He feels like some affinity with this football club, and obviously has supported this football club for an extended period of time. So that's great news, guys. I want players who want to be here playing for this football club. I want players who feel like they've got an affinity with this club or support the club in some way and want to get involved with the Ten Hag project that is taking place at Manchester United. And that's what Rasmus Hojlund seemingly is doing. Even if he's got a very questionable hairdo, you know, he's not the only one, to be fair. So, you know, obviously he's a red now, guys. Get in there. Beautiful stuff. We were just waiting for the official unveiling, and it has now happened. No nap for me, Luan France. No, I've come straight on here to do the cheeky little show here, but we will be having a nap after this show. Not going to be a horrendously long show today, but I'm going to get in with the latest news and the updates on Maguire, on, of course, some of the quotes from Ten Hag, etc. post-game, and even a little bit of a Kane update, and just the latest transfer news. Amrabat, you know, we've got plenty to discuss this afternoon. Wanted to do my usual afternoon show and then jump on later tonight for the evening news also. So let's talk about this, guys. So unfortunately, Hojlund has sustained an injury. Can we get a hashtag FFS in the live chat, please? What an absolute shambles of a start it is to his Manchester United career. He didn't sustain it at United, let's just be clear, but it has now come to light that Rasmus Hojlund sustained a small injury in pre-season with Atalanta. He's not ready to play now, training as always, but it will take a few weeks to reach match fitness. What an absolute debacle. So we've gone from expecting that this guy would hopefully be playing against Wolves in the opening game of the Premier League campaign, or even hoping that he would feature in one of the pre-season games before the end of pre-season, to now being expectant that he probably won't play for us until the end of August or maybe even the start of September. Very annoying. Very, very frustrating piece of information here, guys, that has made its light today. Obviously, various different outlets reporting that he has a small injury. I mean, I haven't seen any direct quotes from Erik Ten Hag on the matter, but that's what's being reported far and wide. And it's kind of known that maybe that's what sort of slowed down his medical. So the other day he had like 2 parts of his medical, of course. They wanted to do some extra stringent tests after the initial part of his medical. There were some issues, i.e. the guy's bloody injured. So it is a big shame, this, guys, that he's obviously not able to start his Manchester United career right now. And when you consider the other options we've got, it does leave us a little bit short there. I mean, Rashford did well enough today. Second half, he was good. He did score a goal. He did have a hand in the other goal as well, the one that Casemiro's put in with his schnoz. And so, you know, you've got to say that we've got enough cover there, but it's not ideal. Rashford is not an out-and-out striker. He can score goals, though. He got 30 goals for us last season. The key, really, is that we probably don't lose anything over on the left-hand side because of Alejandro Garnacho. Just call my name, just call my name, Alejandro. Just call my name, just call my name, Garnacho. Alejandro. What a performance by the guy today. Absolutely brilliant against RC Lens. Brilliant player, brilliant performance, so young, so much potential. We don't lose anything over on that left-hand side, I don't think. Garnacho's, in my opinion, as good as Rashford already, almost. I mean, obviously, he's not scored 30 goals, but he didn't have the game time last season, did he? Didn't have the game time to be able to do that. But now I think he's clearly showing what he's made of. He looks like pretty much our best forward player up there, if we're being honest. Definite man of the match display from Garnacho today. He was exceptional. So because of that, I'm not too worried about us for the first few games of the season because I think Rashford can do a job for us at striker. Alejandro Garnacho will make that left wing spot his own for the first opening few games of the season. And then obviously once Rasmus Hojlund is fit and coming back into the team, he should hopefully be able to, I don't know, dislodge Rashford, and then Rashford's going to have to battle it out with Garnacho for that left wing spot. But the front three, I would imagine, going forward for Wolves at this moment while Rasmus Hojlund is injured, will probably be Garnacho, Rashford and Antony. So, yeah, probably that makes the most sense based on recent performances. Antony had a good second half as well. And although he's never really that convincing throughout the 90 minutes of a game of football, if you ask me, he's always effective, Antony. Like today, he got a goal, he got an assist, even against Dortmund, he got a goal. So he can sort of fail to really impress, but yet still manage to have a positive effect. So that's one positive thing about Antony on the right side. So probably Garnacho, Rashford and Antony for the first few games of the season, certainly the opening game against Wolves. Smash a 1 in the chat if you agree with me, or if you disagree, get your front three in there for the Wolves game. Let us know. What do you think should be the starting front three against Wolves on the opening game of the season on the 14th of August? Now that obviously Rasmus Hojlund is not going to be playing, let us know your thoughts and opinions on it. We do have Martial, but Martial's kind of crap, if you ask me. He's not all that, is he? Johnny says 1. Not yet learned, Dev. Not at all. No, not at this moment in time. Unk Squid, get in there, my son. He thinks the same. You think Jadon Sancho should be playing with Garnacho in the middle? Wow, I mean, that's quite interesting, Rajat. I don't know about that. I mean, I like Garnacho running at players. Maybe he could play at striker in the future. It's a fair point. Duke of Rodtown says 159, watching, 68 likes. Let's all smash that like button and subscribe for the Pig Bacon Brigade Assemble. Mate, thank you very much there, Duke of Rodtown. That's very kind of you, dude. Yeah, do as he says and smack the thumbs up button. Oh, yes. He's made of glass, says United 90. Yeah, that's a problem with Tony Martial. Okay, so that's probably the front three for the Wolves game. Very impressed with Garnacho. Antony's had a good second half. Rashford had a good second half. There were some glaring issues, of course, earlier on in the first half of that game. We performed pretty poorly. We didn't take our chances well. Just on that game for a few minutes, we discussed it at the end of the watch-along, but, you know, there was quite a lot of bang average displays out there. I mean, I don't really necessarily blame Onana that much, but he did get chipped. He is going to be that type of player who is kind of teetering on a knife edge sometimes, like he's a risky individual. It's not his fault that we gave the ball away, and it's an incredible finish from the Lens player who scored. But yeah, Dallow's had an absolute stinker and given the ball away. But because of Andre Onana's style, that's the problem. He is maybe going to expose us sometimes in that way, but I don't think you can necessarily say to him, hey, look, stay back on your line. It's not his style. If it's not for Dallow being absolutely gashed, then obviously it doesn't lead to that chance. But it did, and occasionally your players will make mistakes out there, and when they do, and they give the ball away to the opposition in dangerous areas, I mean, that was in the centre circle that the lads had the shot from. You don't expect it to go in, but tremendous finish, and obviously Onana in no man's land. It was a heck of a goal, obviously. But Andre Onana in no man's land because of the style that he plays. So I'm not blaming Andre Onana too much. It's early days for him. I know he's got chipped twice in pre-season, but I'm hoping he's got all of those sort of early mistakes out of his system in pre-season, and when he gets to the Premier League, he's going to be very good. But, I mean, I've always had my concerns about Diogo Dalot defensively. I think he is better going forward. That defensively speaking, I've just never really been all that convinced with him. Wan-Bissaka is 100% a better defender. He's not as good going forward, but he has improved that area of his game markedly over the last year. So to me, Wan-Bissaka gets the nod starting in the league anyway ahead of Diogo Dalot. Diogo Dalot sort of done himself a bit dirty with that goal. And like Thugger says, that was Dallow's fault. Exactly, it was Dallow's fault. But as I say, because of Onana's style, he's not going to be on his line. He's going to be vulnerable if we do make mistakes. So Dallow's caused the goal, no doubt there, really. He's caused it. But because Onana has had a bit of a melter with his position, not really necessarily his fault, it's just how he plays. It's his style. Because he's out, that means they can actually have a free chance. So yeah, I don't think anybody should be hating on Onana at this moment in time. He needs time. He needs time to sort of get that understanding with his teammates and just sort of bed in. I'm very happy with him so far. I think his distribution's absolutely fantastic. He brings a totally different style. The problem with him is it will look like he's a bit of a calamity when things like this happen, but wasn't his fault, really, was it? Wasn't his fault. I mean, yes, that does not happen if it's David De Gea in goal, because David De Gea is not that far out. But then again, you lose stuff from having David De Gea in goal. The idea of Onana is he's a different goalkeeper that's going to come in and, you know, play with a forward style, be able to distribute from the back. He's out of his box, he's sweeping up, he's almost playing like a deep line playmaker role at times. He's a totally different goalkeeper to De Gea, so I think it's a bit harsh to even say that we should blame him at all at this moment in time. I don't blame him at all. Yeah, it's a shame that he got done and chipped again, But let's just hope he's getting that out of his system. Anyway, so largely there was a good few performers today, but most of them kind of failed to really impress me. But there were some standouts, as I say. Garnacho had a good one. Martinez, in my opinion. Luke Shaw. Bruno looked very good second half. Rashford had a good second half. Anthony had a good second half. It was a decent sort of a second half display. Good comeback. And obviously Ten Hag deserves all the plaudits because we were looking crap at half time. And then we come back in the second half and played a lot better. A lot better. But just on Haaland then. So Haaland is expected to probably come back to fitness to play for Man United towards the end of August or maybe the start of September, which is very annoying. But that's quite likely at this stage because we know he's out for a few weeks. If you're just getting in and you haven't heard, we have got a horrible update in regards to Rasmus Hojlund that he's going to miss the first few weeks of the Premier League season. Hopefully he can be back sooner than that. And as I say, there are various outlets reporting that the medical was extended due to this fact. So here's a report from Sam Luckhurst that says that Hojlund travelled to London for extensive examinations on Thursday after a concern was flagged during the first part of his medical. So that's what we understand. He went through extensive tests. He's obviously fit enough to pass the medical, which is good. So from what we can take from this, really, we don't know the actual 100% definitive reason why he's injured. We just know that he sustained an injury during pre-season for Atalanta, but he's fit enough to pass his medical. It's just about getting that match sharpness, that match fitness, and obviously, recovering 100% so he doesn't injure himself further or anything. So it will be a few weeks, but having to go for extensive medical examinations before we could actually pull the trigger on him and complete the deal. Did I say Haaland? I meant Hojlund. Oh, right, okay, that's going to happen sometimes. Their names are very similar. Did I say Haaland? That's fucking disgusting. Washed my mouth out with filth. That's absolutely horrible. Did I say Haaland, guys? Some people saying I did in the live chat. That's absolutely filth. I meant Hojlund, guys. Hojlund travelled to London for extensive examinations on Thursday after a concern was flagged during the first part of his medical. So that's what we've got there, guys. And obviously, as I say, it's confirmed by various outlets. One of the key sources here being Fabrizio Romano that says that Rasmus Hojlund sustained a small injury in pre-season with Atalanta. He's not ready to play now. Training as always. Okay then, fair play to him. So he's a red now, peeps. Good news on that though. Looking forward to him getting underway. We're going to move on to the rest of the transfer news now. But as always, continue to smash the like button. Let's get to 100 likes. Hit the subscribe and get your thoughts in and out. I will actually just get into the live chat for a few minutes before we move on to the next topic to see your thoughts and opinions about Haaland and this whole medical and injury situation. I've done it again! Hojlund! Fucking Hojlund, guys! No! I'm very sleepy today, folks. I keep calling him fucking Haaland, mate. He's big, he's Scandinavian, they got similar names. Shit! I meant Hojlund. Did he pass his medical, says IQ Insane. Yes, he did pass his medical, so he had extensive further tests done just to make sure that he was fully fit and everything. And he's gone through extensive tests. So yes, they're happy that he's not got a serious injury. It's just that he obviously picked up some sort of a small knock and needs to have a little bit of rest and recuperate to be 100% match fit and obviously get his conditioning up again. You don't want to drop him into the deep end after he's just like coming back from a little layoff. So he's going to take a couple of weeks at least before he's back into contention for a starting spot in the side, which is a shame. But for now, it's probably going to be Rashford leading the lineup there. Hojlund is no Haaland, says Jackie. Well, he's a couple of years younger than him. Give him a couple of years. And let's see how he does. But I think he's got the potential to go on and be an amazing, amazing player. I mean, as we said, there's some quotes from Ten Hag. Ten Hag said that he gives us basically, everything that we're looking for. He's direct. He's a proper sort of man to lead the line. Quick, physical, etc. Ten Hag's obviously feeling like he's got a heck of a lot of potential for the future. And he said as much. So they will try and coach him the best way they see fit. And hopefully in a couple of years' time, we'll be talking about Hojlund as the next Haaland. So obviously they're different players anyway. As I've mentioned, they do have similar names, and obviously that's going to cause a few issues when people who are tired are trying to talk about him because they've got very similar names. But in terms of actually their styles, they're different players. Haaland, in my opinion, is a very fantastic mover and finisher. Like his movement, his speed, his physicality, his heading, all of that stuff, his movement in the box is brilliant. He's undeniably a fantastic finisher. But the rest of his game, it's kind of lacking a little bit there. Whereas Hojlund, in my humble opinion, has more qualities overall. He might not be able to match Haaland for the outright finishing prowess, because who can? He's literally got the all-time goal-scoring record in the Premier League last season. But in terms of all the other build-up parts of the play, the passing, the dropping deeper, the getting involved in maybe the build-up play and assists and things like that, I would imagine that Hojlund is going to go on and do much better things as an all-round player than Haaland, although Haaland is just an absolute goal scorer, and that's all you really need from your goal scorers, is to score goals. But Hojlund is somewhat of an all-encompassing player. He's only 20, so time will tell whether or not he can really truly be like a full-on all-rounder. But he does seem like somebody who's got the right vision, the right intelligence in the final third. He can get involved in the link-up play and the build-up and that sort of stuff, which is something that separates him from the likes of Haaland because of his overall ability to play. Whereas Haaland is a great finisher and has unbelievable movement and is undeniable, but different sorts of players. So I don't really like how they get compared too much anyway, just because they got the same sort of names. They're both Scandinavian, and they're large individuals. They're 6'3" and 6'4" respectively, so they're big units, and because of that they're going to get compared, but they are fundamentally different types of players. Yeah, no, Haaland is a beast. I literally have said this, IQ Insane. What have you taken from this last couple of minutes where I've been talking about Haaland, where I'm not saying he's a beast? I'm saying he's a beast. I'm just saying he's not as well-rounded in various different aspects of his play. He's a wonderful finisher, and his movement's insane, and his physicality, and his heading, and everything. But you know what? He's not all that good in terms of, like, deeper on the pitch, or his build-up, or his assists and things like that. He might get a lot of assists because he's obviously playing for a great team in a you know, and he's having a lot of shots, and he's in the final third a lot, obviously. But he's not the same in terms of the deeper build-up play, is what I'm saying. Hojlund's a different player is all the point that I'm making here. Thank you, Rushmano. He says, subscribe to the channel. Yes, indeed. Please do give us a massive subscribe. If you are new to the show, get yourself involved. We're on our way to 72,900 subscribers, so do hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel and get yourself involved. Thank you, Rushmano. Get in there, you legend. How are you doing this afternoon? Dalot needs to play regularly, Pig. I'm not so sure about Dalot, you know, Rasha. Wan-Bissaka's the guy for me. Let's have a vote in the live chat, guys. Who do you think should be like the first choice right back at the moment? You could argue we need to sign another right back, but who would be your first choice right back at the moment to head into the season with? For me, it's the Spider, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's proven himself more so over the last year than Dalot. Dalot did have a very good spell last season at the start of the season under Erik ten Hag. But then Wan-Bissaka, after the World Cup, came into the side and just made it his own. He was fantastic. So the Spider, for me, is ahead of Dalot in that team. Dalot, as good as he is going forward, I mean, he scored a tremendous goal against Dortmund the other day, and he is good getting down the wing and crossing things in, but defensively, he leaves a bit to be desired. And obviously, I'm sure Onana's probably going to give him a clip round the ear today after the game, saying, you bloody made me look like a tit out there, Dalot. You know what I mean? Because Dalot's obviously made the mistake that's led to that goal and that chip, and it's not really down to Onana. Obviously, Onana's positioning and risque mentality is what's going to, you know, obviously contribute to that a little bit, but fundamentally, Dalot shat it. Aaron Wan-Bissaka says answer. Aaron Wan-Bissaka says Mount. I don't know. Gaming Sim. Why do people want to write him off before he kicks the ball? Great comment. I don't know. I think a lot of them maybe City scummers. Boomy says Aaron Wan-Bissaka. 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 Hey, Gungshi, you legend. Everybody's saying basically the Spider. I agree with you guys. Dalot is not the best defensively. He is decent going forward. Pretty much we want to be seeing Aaron Wan-Bissaka given that starting berth in the team. And then later on, yeah, Dalot later on in games, or if we need to have more of an attacking emphasis, perhaps we can chuck him on. But yeah, obviously Wan-Bissaka is just blatantly better, isn't he, as an all-round defender? In fact, as defenders go, when it comes to just like one-on-one tacklers, one-on-one defending, Wan-Bissaka is the best in the whole team, in my opinion. Now that is saying something because we've got players like Varane and Martinez, but in terms of just one-on-one defending, he's the best. He's got the best in terms of getting his leg in there and getting the ball in last-ditch challenges and stopping people one-on-one. He is the best at that, I think. He does lack in other areas, but defensively, he's super sound. Spider says John Adair. 100 likes. We did it, guys. Get in there, my son. Thank you very much, everyone. We got 100 likes. That's brilliant. Keep smashing that up. It helps the channel out and it's free. Luan France says Wan-Bissaka. Ishan says Dalot would be better as a right wing back. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is great as a right back. interesting, fair play to you. Yeah, I mean, maybe in like a back five, Dalot might benefit a little bit more if he's got three centre-backs there who, who can cover that space and just leave him slightly less vulnerable. But you're right, he'd probably be better going forward, bombing up and down the right side, being allowed to have that freedom to get forward. But defensively, he lacks, doesn't he? Yeah, Dalot's good for a back three. Absolutely, Rajat. Good point. Wan-Bissaka is speed. Dalot is too slow on the defence, says Cass. Okay, so anyway, frustrating that Dalot had a bit of a poor game today. It's a shame after a good one against Dortmund where he scored that banging goal, etc. But really, really a subpar from him today. To me, Spider is ahead of him in terms of this Ten Hag pecking order right now. Let's get on with the rest of the transfer news. Just on from one injured player to another injured player, let's talk about, obviously Hojlund's injured, we know that he's out for a few weeks now. Let's just talk about some of the quotes from Erik ten Hag here in regards to Mainoo, who's a very exciting player for this season. Right now, he's not available to play, he's injured. But this is what Ten Hag said in the programme. He said, I should reserve special mention for Mainoo, who suffered an injury against Real Madrid, but had already shown his potential among the senior squad. We all wish him a speedy recovery and hope to have him back in contention soon. So I think this is a real good show of confidence from Erik ten Hag in Mainoo and basically saying to him he has got a place in the squad. Obviously, he's only a young lad. But Ten Hag's absolutely right. Kobbie had a very, very good time of it in pre-season. Such a shame that he got injured. Let's hope he's not an injury-prone player. And then when he comes back from this injury, let's hope he's absolutely brilliant again. But, that's obviously sort of showing you what regard Ten Hag holds him in. When he is back in the side, that would be great news. So just a little bit of an update there with some quotes from Ten Hag to do with Kobbie. It's a shame Kobbie's out injured. Let's get a hashtag get well soon, Kobbie. So a couple of injured players at this moment in time. Obviously, we do have Amad Diallo injured out for a little while as well. He's expected to miss a couple of months. We've got Mainoo injured and, of course, Hojlund. And let's hope that Raphael Varane's okay. Obviously, he finished the game today. He was down for a little bit, but he's the type of guy that he goes down for 2 minutes and then you hear that his buddy broken something, or he's injured or pulled a muscle, or, he is a bit frustrating. So hopefully he's fine, but he does seem fine. Anyway. Okay, so let's get on to the Harry Maguire stuff now, peeps. Let's get on to Harry Maguire. So Maguire did not play today. He's expected to feature tomorrow against Athletic Bilbao because United obviously played our first team today, our strongest 11 essentially, and now we've got another game that's just as quickly as tomorrow at 4 p.m. So because of that, it's expected that Maguire will play tomorrow. But if he doesn't feature, we'll probably do something along the lines of, I don't know, play Johnny Evans and Lindelof, who knows. We might do something different. And if that happens, then that basically indicates that we are trying to get rid of Maguire ASAP. If we're not prepared to risk this guy tomorrow and not give him a game, then I think that tells you exactly where Ten Hag's at and tells you where Maguire's at, really. The thing is, though, one moment in the game really concerned me earlier, which was when Raphael Varane went down on the floor and it looked like he sustained an injury. Well, what if Varane just gets injured again tomorrow? He's very, very injury prone, this guy. So if we do sell Maguire, I think we have to go out there and buy another centre-back, really. We might be lacking a little bit too much in that area. I know we've got Lindelof. I know we've got Luke Shaw who can play there. And Johnny Evans. But we are still lacking a little bit in that area if Maguire is sold. So what do you reckon, guys? Let's say Raphael Varane was injured. He's not. But let's just say he gets injured. Would you keep or sell Harry Maguire? Let us know what you think. Let us know in the live chat. Keep or sell? Still sell the twat, guys, blatantly. Still sell him. He's obviously absolutely rubbish. So I'd definitely still sell the guy, but it's looking likely. It's looking likely that it depends on the game tomorrow. We'll see if he's going to feature. Lots of sells coming in here. Sell, 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 sell. Slab is a curse. Sell, sell, sell the slab. You can bet Slabhead's going to be crunching Varane in training. Absolutely. Sell, 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 sell. Okay, everyone's saying get him out of here and sell him. Sell, sell. Thanks, guys, for getting your thoughts in there. I couldn't agree more with you. So maybe we do need some more centre-back cover. Perhaps if Harry Maguire does get sold this summer, we should invest that money and go and buy Jean-Claire Todibo or somebody else. Just somebody to come in there and give us more options at the centre-back position. And even if we can't necessarily cover and get somebody else, I'd still be happy to sell him and get him off of our books. We wouldn't want to turn down this opportunity of raising 25 or 30 million pounds and saving the wages that he's paid, because he is now sixth choice centre-back, really. And so therefore, we can manage. We could manage. I'd rather keep Bailly around, to be honest, and just have him as a sixth choice centre back. So there's definitely things that we can get away with there. We don't need Maguire, he's gone. But in regards to the whole situation with Maguire, West Ham, it's understood that they are still very much interested in Harry Maguire, and there's reported talks that have been taking place between West Ham and Harry Maguire to basically gauge whether or not he's really interested in going. We heard quotes from Gareth Southgate yesterday, which insinuated that maybe Slabo might have to look to go and play regular football somewhere if he's going to continue to get selected. But this is a report that's come out that just says that West Ham are having talks with Harry Maguire, who has been advised to consider offers. David Moyes is prepared to make some promises to him to try to convince him. So because of the fact that he's obviously surplus to requirements now at United, he's a backup, sixth choice, seventh choice, whatever the case may be, he's going to have to start looking at options where to go. West Ham is probably the best option for him at the moment. It's a big club still, good club, Europa League football this season. David Moyes there, good manager to be fair, even if he's got a ginger goblin history at United, he's still a good coach, and it will give him an opportunity to be a big player in a reasonably big team, mid-table side, just about the right fit for him, and get into the England setup. So because of that, it's likely that they are leading the chase at the moment. Everton also interested in him, maybe one or two other teams. But David Moyes very much wants him, and there's even reports that they've sort of requested some sort of medical information and things like that for him. So here's a report that just suggests that West Ham have requested Harry Maguire's medical notes. So I think they want to find out what that cranium is all about. Do you know what I'm saying? They want to find out what condition he has in order to cause that growth. No, I'm just kidding, obviously, guys. That's harsh, isn't it? I'm a harsh bastard sometimes. He's a nice guy, isn't he, Slabby? He's just on 200 grand a week and he's useless. It's not necessarily his fault. But in regards to Maguire and the whole medical situation, we heard that there was perhaps some information yesterday. You know, I told you they were probably bullshit. Sounded like absolute guff to me, where we heard about Maguire and McTominay having long-distance medicals. What the fuck's a long-distance medical? You know what I mean? Does that mean Slabby Maguire's on a treadmill and he's got one of those bloody styrofoam cup phones attached to a string with David Moyes on the other end and he says, yeah, boss, I'm all right. It sounds bollocks. What the fuck? Long-distance medical, having a long-distance medical, that's rubbish. Without even Manchester United agreeing anything or the player even agreeing anything. Yeah, it's just that sounded like absolute rubbish, to be fair, having a long-distance medical. But this is what Fabrizio Romano said on that whole situation. Which is what we said, basically. He said that on Maguire and McTominay rumours, said, despite reports, I'm not aware of Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay undergoing medicals ahead of a move to West Ham at this stage. West Ham are focused on their midfield and more specifically. So, you know, there you go. I mean, it doesn't seem like that's the case at all. They may well have these guys conduct medicals if they were to get an agreement in place with Manchester United. But at this moment, it's obviously not anywhere near that. They are understood to have agreed a deal with Ajax as well for Alvarez. And if that's the case, then who knows if they'll even be coming in for Scott McTominay. So quite a little bit of rumour mill stuff going around about West Ham and Maguire and McTominay. I think it's wishful thinking from us Man United fans to think that we could sell both of those players to them. They may well get one of them, though. I've got a feeling they'll get one. Let's smash a 1, a 2 or a 0 in the chat, guys, based on how many of those players out of Maguire and McTominay we will sell to West Ham. How many will they buy? Will they buy Maguire or McTominay and they'll take one player of us? Will they get both of them in a double transfer? Or do we end up with a big fat 0 and we can't get rid of these toe rags because nobody wants them? Let us know. I think it's a bit much to expect us to sell both of those players to them, though, to be honest. One says Adam Hanif. Came in 7 says, why do West Ham want to self-harm? I think they're like sadomasochists or something, mate. 1 says Kingslayer, 0 says Gavin and Nick United, 2 says United 91 says Pete Morris. Yes, indeed. 1 says United we stand. 1 says Chloe Jenkins. Harsh but true. Both says Joshua. I mean, that'd be so nice, wouldn't it? Ishan says Maguire rarely does forward passes compared to our first-time defenders. He mostly pass on the sides and will only play safe. Don't have proper rhythm when he's put on. Well, I mean, that's a fair comment, Ishan. I don't even necessarily think that's the worst part of his game. I see him playing some decent passes and stuff. I think it's just fundamentally he's physically lacking. He's very slow, both mentally as well. If you're going to be slow, you've got to be quick in the mind. And he's slow mentally, I think, when it comes to reading the game. So he's not He's just not quick enough or good enough for Ten Hag's system, but he's a decent passer, to be fair to him. He can play some decent long balls and stuff like that. But he is a sidey pass merchant sometimes as well. McTominay would level up what West Ham have got right there, probably their best centre mid straight away. Well, based on right now, he would be a good addition to their team, wouldn't he? I think you're absolutely spot on. So if I'm them, I'm more interested in Scott McTominay than I am Harry Maguire. So, you know, what about my joke, damn it? Kate Cadet, sorry I missed your joke. Sorry, I haven't got a picture of your face, mate, to put on the screen. I apologise, bro. Your talents are wasted here. Sorry, I totally missed it, Kate Cadet. Let's go and find it. I bet this isn't worth it. You said you were going for a nap, Joe. Is that the joke? That can't be the joke. Anyway, yeah, you're totally wasting my time. Okay, Cadet, no worries. I said I was going for a nap, but I'm going to go for a nap after this video. I wanted to jump on and cover the afternoon transfer news and the latest info, because obviously, you know, that's what we do around here. We do an afternoon show and an evening show with the latest information to discuss and just to give you the latest updates. So that's what we do every day around about 4 p.m, which is why I've jumped on here this afternoon. But obviously we will be back on at 10 p.m. I'm going to have a nap after this. But anyway, obviously, look, it's understandable if West Ham do want both Maguire and McTominay, because I genuinely believe those two players would improve West Ham. West Ham would be a better team by having Maguire and McTominay in there. They're good players. Well, that may be a bit of a stretch. They're decent players. But for Man United, we need better than decent. We need great players. We need top draw players. And those guys are definitely not top draw at all. So, yeah, see you later on, Slabo. See you later on, McTominay. Hopefully we can get those guys gone. Obviously, remains to be seen how serious West Ham are, because they did put a bid in for Maguire for £20 million, but it was rejected. One thing I want to just mention here, guys. ESPN, this is obviously well known, but 4 years ago today, Harry Maguire signed for Manchester United for £80 million. He remains the most expensive defender in the world. Can we get some rips in the chat, guys? Can we get some RIPs for United? Can we get some RIPs in the chat for United, guys? Dum dum da dum dum da dum da dum da dum. Because ever since that day, we have been bloody cursed. But we really... Slabby Maguire at United has not been a successful spell for this football club. £80 million we paid for that guy, and he's still the most expensive defender on the planet. You what? We got absolutely rinsed by Leicester City on this guy, didn't we? 4 years ago. Can you believe that was 4 years ago? It doesn't even sound right to me. I thought it was 3. But it's actually 4 years we've had this guy at the football club. Crikey, guys, what an absolute shambles of a 4 years. Yeah, we won some stuff. Last season was okay, to be honest. We did actually manage to do all right. Ten Hag's done well. You know, we won a League Cup. We got to an FA Cup final. We finished 3rd. Last season was okay. But Manchester United, obviously, we need to be striving for the best of the best, winning Premier Leagues, challenging for Champions Leagues, all this kind of stuff. And Maguire, being in the football club as our captain as well for the last couple of years, has just basically established us as a complete melted team, unfortunately. Once he's gone and once we've moved on some players, the new era will begin properly at United. Still, we've got that lingering leftover guff, bad taste in the mouth from having Maguire and all these gash players from the previous regime still here. Ten Hag hasn't assembled his team just yet. He needs backing, obviously, to sign the players that he needs. He's getting there. He's spent quite a lot on several players now, but he still needs a couple more, and he needs to move on these guff bags like Harry Maguire as soon as physically possible. Your brother thinks it was worth it. My brother rates Harry Maguire. I know, it's outrageous, isn't it? I don't know what he's all about. What is his vibe? It's crazy. Anywho, right, we've got 200 legends in this afternoon transfer show, guys. We've got 128 likes. Keep hitting that thumbs up button if you're just joining the stream. It gives us a boost up in the algorithm, helps us compete with clickbait wankers and corporations, and lets us know you like the show, guys. So drop a cheeky little thumbs up and subscribe. We're creeping up in the old subscribers. Smack it up there if you want. West Ham then, maybe after Maguire, maybe after Scott McTominay. We'll see. Probably a combined £55 million gets both of them. Will they be prepared to do that? We know that they've agreed personal terms with Alvarez over at Ajax, so every possibility that they don't do that. Let's move on with the transfer news then, and we'll obviously have a Q&A at the end of the show, get into the thoughts and opinions of the live chat at the end of the show, but we will dip in and out with a few more before then. Let me just check out a couple of these updates that are coming in live during this show, guys. Bear with me. Una momento, por favors. Let's take a little look. So there's some quotes here from Ten Hag on Hojlund, by the way, which I was talking about earlier. He said that he's a real front man, very direct to goal, a very good presser, physical presence in the balance of this squad. We needed that. Alongside Rashford, another player who's direct and can score goals. That's all in his mind. He wants to score goals. He says, I think he has huge potential, and now it's up to him first to explore that, and we will support him. All the coaches, the team was waiting for a type like him. They will integrate him in the dressing room and on the pitch. They will help him. So, big words from Erik Ten Hag. They're great quotes in regards to Hojlund and the unveiling of him earlier on. Let's talk about Henderson. So, another player that we could sell. Very frustrating situation here. We know that Nottingham Forest are going in for Arsenal's goalkeeper Turner as well. But there is a report that says that Nottingham Forest are still in talks with Man United over Dean Henderson, and there is a willingness from all parties to get a deal done. If a deal can be struck, he would be first choice and Matt Turner providing competition, so sounds quite interesting. Do you know what, though? I'm sick and tired of dealing with these Notts Forest melters. Goodness me! Crikey, it's an absolute shambles. Do you want him or not? Do you want this guy or not? If not, then piss off. And let's move on to try and send him to somebody else, because you guys are taking the piss. Nottingham Forest, I'm starting to get annoyed with these guys. They're taking so long. They're in talks. How long have they been in talks with us over Dean Henderson? Let's fucking get the guy sold. Either you want him or you don't. Stop kicking the tyres, Nottingham Forest. You winded us all up. We obviously want to get rid of this guy on a permanent deal if we can. Okay, a loan capacity, getting him gone with a little fee up front and the wages off our books is better than a kick up the you-know-what. But I'd still rather sell the guy. So Henderson's got to obviously go because we've got Onana, we've got backup goalkeepers at the club, we've got Kovar, we've got Heaton, and we might even sign that Zion Suzuki lad once this toe rag's gone. But he needs to go, doesn't he? Absolutely caking it. Henderson needs to piss off. He's doing our heads in, guys. It's not necessarily his fault. He's on big money at United, and therefore it sort of means that some of these teams might not really want to go and invest in the guy because he's on 130k a week. But for any Premier League team, surely he's got to be affordable at that price, especially if he's going to be their number one. So I guess the fee is the problem here. The wages are an issue, but the fee is the problem here when you couple that with the wages. What do you think he's worth, guys, at this moment in time? So previously I would have said 20 million, but because nobody wants to touch him with a 10-foot barge pole, I think we're going to have to lower our expectations on the Henderson transfer. I think in like 14 million gets the job done now. You know, we've got to negotiate. We've got to try and get him gone, obviously. But crikey, I mean, I can't see us getting much more than that from now. Otherwise, they'd have come in and already had a bid for 20 mil, wouldn't they? 15 million, says Rajat. Yep. Hey, Berserker, thank you for re-upping your membership and becoming a member of the channel once again. Get in there, my son. Guys, get your favourite emoji to welcome Berserker in the stream. I really appreciate that, dude. Get in there, you handsome bastard. Thank you so much to Berserker. What an absolute legend. Get in there, you beautiful man. Thank you, Berserker. Yeah, Fabrizio tweeted he rejoins the first team ahead of Wolves. Who's that? Palistri? I don't know. Who you talking about? Anyway, Berserker just became a sponsor. Thank you very much, Berserker. Get your thoughts and opinions in about, you know, what we think Henderson's worth. But thank you to Berserker for joining that membership again there, lad. Appreciate you, dude. United 90 says 15 at most. 10 to 15 says Kingslayer. 18.5 says Joshua. Welsh Red says 20. We said no to 25 mil last year, says Compost Smurf. That's it. I mean, he's a good player, but the amount of money that we can get from him is dwindling. It's Victor dwindling off. Oh, I don't know really, Berserker says, why do I have to manually renew my membership? I don't really know, actually, you know, Berserker, but thank you so much for doing that. Yep, I'll get the Fantasy League set up very, very soon there, Markin, absolutely. Yeah, you never left. You never left that. No one wants him because they know he's a mole. That's a fair point as well. The wages we offer players are absolutely crazy and then we can't offload them. Spot on, 100% agree. Thank you. Oh, okay, Mark N. Top man. I appreciate you, dude. Yeah, once again, guys, check out the link at the top of the chat. Give us a retweet. I'll shout you all out in a few minutes' time for all the legends that have retweeted the show. West Ham closing on Edson Alvarez. McTominay to West Ham unlikely. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not so sure about that must play. I must be honest. I think that obviously they are closing on Edson Alvarez. They've agreed personal terms there. But I'm not so sure whether it hinders them getting Scott McTominay. I think they might get Scott McTominay as well. So I've just got an opinion that they will. I know they are signing another midfielder, obviously, which could increase the likeliness that they don't go for McTominay. That's true. But I still think they probably will go in for him just because, you know, that Scottish connection, Moisey's understood to rate him, Declan Rice has just gone. You know, I could imagine they're going for it. But because of that Alvarez signing, if they do get that signing, then yeah, it increases the, like you say, it makes it more unlikely that it won't happen. So you are spot on, but hopefully he does go. Gamer Sim says, why would we even keep Henderson? He can't play out from the back either. Well, there you go. Yeah, don't know. I mean, he's probably better than that at, say, like than De Gea. But I'm agreed with you though. He's not like an Andre Onana type goalkeeper. But his distribution is better than, say, De Gea's, in my humble opinion. But he's a good goalkeeper. But he's not all that. He would be a backup at best at United, and there's no place for 130 grand a week backups anymore at this football club. We've got to move him on. Anyway, I'm with you. Get rid of him. Get him gone. He's absolutely bang average, and the guy's an absolute melter. So see you later on, Dean Henderson. Let's hope that Forest don't fanny around all summer long and actually put in a cheeky little offer for us very, very soon. So guys, let's talk about Harry Kane for a minute. So there were some reports yesterday, we discussed it in the evening show, about Bayern imposing some kind of self-deadline or something for Spurs to do business with them. Sounded like a bit of BS at the time. It seems like it probably is. Spurs have not accepted or rejected the offer at this moment, so they're not playing ball. Daniel Levy's apparently gone on holiday. I don't know. I mean, look at this report. Let's take a look at this report and put it on screen. It's quite funny. Daniel Levy with the classic shithousery, if this is the case. But here's a little report that just says that Daniel Levy ignored the supposed deadline given by Bayern to respond to the offer for Harry Kane and is now going on vacation to Miami with his family for 2 weeks. The poker continues. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but that's a report online. And if it is true, it just goes to show you the level of shithousery that Daniel Levy's prepared to get involved with, you know? So one thing that's quite interesting about the whole deal is it depends on Kane, doesn't it? I like this from Levy, to be honest, because it gives us still a glimmer of hope that maybe towards the end of the transfer window, if we sold all these cash players we're talking about, we might be able to go in for the guy and have a little cheeky stab at him. So I'm still holding out the hope that we can go and try for Harry Kane still. But also, I guess it increases the likelihood if Levy's not prepared to do business with Bayern, then it increases the likelihood that Kane stays, gets his head down for a year, and leaves in the summer next year on a free transfer, and then he can go and sign for whoever he wants and get a huge wage, and maybe Manchester United after a good season would be able to coax him there then. So I still want Kane to be a Manchester United player, whether it's this summer or next summer, whenever, because I think he gives us a lot of great qualities. And if you actually look at what's happening with Rasmus Hojlund, he's out for a few weeks. I'm not saying that's a reason to spend 100 million on a player, but we could do with another striker. That's evident. We can absolutely do with another striker. And what better striker to go and get than Harry Kane? So I'm starting to lean towards maybe him staying, though, at Tottenham. I mean, I think the personal terms being offered reportedly by Bayern Munich might have a say in it, because he stands to make a couple of times the amount that he makes at Spurs to go and play over in the Bundesliga. And obviously, if they're prepared to actually meet Spurs' valuation, which it doesn't sound like they're that far off right now, then surely Levy would rather get 100 million than nothing. In a year's time, he stands to get nothing. Are Kane's goals this season really that valuable that they're worth him taking a hit of 100 million by keeping hold of him? Don't think so. I mean, look, his 30 goals last season weren't that much value to Spurs, if we're being honest. He played amazing and he got a lot of goals, but they still finished 8th. So I don't think his goals are worth them, for one season, are worth them losing this deal of a lifetime to get 100 million for a player with a year left. So, yeah, I don't know, but I think they'll try desperately to sell him towards the end of the window for as much as they can, and they're just playing the long game to try and convince Bayern to bid a little bit more and get as much money as they possibly can for him, and maybe see if another team comes in with an improved offer as well, but very unlikely. And then if they can't, well, goodness, I don't know. I don't think Kane is going to stay there for a year with his contract sort of in limbo and then go on a free, but it could happen, I suppose, if Daniel Levy's really going to play hardball. But fundamentally, he's going to have to, at some point, decide what's more important, Kane's goals or 100 million in the bank to go and reinvest. And they are now looking at other players. Jonathan David's one of them that they're being linked to, and a couple of other forward players as well. So surely they want to get this deal done sooner rather than later, you would think, so they can have time to reinvest and time to actually buy a new player and try to plan for the season a little bit, because the season starts in 9 days. And they've still got this whole limbo situation going on with Harry Kane. So He may well stay. He may well decide to run his contract out, move on a free in a year. That way he gets a bigger signing on bonus. He gets the choice of wherever he wants to go in world football. And I think that, as we mentioned before, every single team in world football, if Harry Kane's available on a free transfer, would be interested in going in for the guy because he is a proven goal scorer. And yes, he'll be a year older. He'll be 31, but he's still got years and years at the top level because his game is not based around speed and physicality really. It's based around great movement, cunning, intelligence, movement in the box, finishing, heading, the lot. So he would be absolutely fine for another few years. So I think he could stay and run his contract out. Let's have a vote in the live chat, guys. Do you think he goes to Bayern, or do you think he ends up staying at Spurs for this remaining season? Let us know. From a financial point of view, I think it maybe makes sense for him to stay at Spurs. He stays there for a year, then he gets a massive whack signing on fee wherever he goes next season and a huge wage because the club that gets him next year does not have to pay any sort of a transfer fee for him. So he can get a big old fee when it comes to signing on bonus and wages next summer. Whereas if he goes now, yes, he's going to get a big deal, but the team like Bayern is going to have to pay 100 million to him, to Spurs, to get him. And that means that they're not going to be prepared to spend as much money overall on wages and things like that. Gregory says stay, Gavin says Spurs, Stay says Stephanie, Bayern says Mark, stay at Spurs says Kate, stays until January. Well, interesting. Bayern, stay. Spurs or United says United 90. Staying says Boomy. Bayern says Rajat. Staying for 200%. Says Cass. He's going to stay, says MUFC Realist TV. Chris Barker says stay. Stay at Tottenham, says Andy. Go to Bayern Munich, says Onyekachi. Stays the Clown, says Welsh Red. Okay then. So most people think he is actually going to stay in the end, guys, and then go and get a big money move next summer. I think it makes a bit of sense. If I'm Harry Kane and Harry Kane's entourage and his agent, etc., I'm probably advising him to do that, particularly if you're his agent, because then you're going to get more money as well. You're going to be able to demand more money in a year's time. But certainly from Kane's point of view, it gives him the pick of the bunch. Right now, only Bayern Munich are really pushing for Kane. Yes, there's some rumours that maybe Man United might try at the end of the window if we can get rid of loads of players. There's many things that have to happen down the line in order for us to actually even bother to go for Kane. And right now, it doesn't look like we've even got that much interest to go for him. But Bayern's the only team going for him. Does he want to commit himself for the rest of his good years in his career to Bundesliga football and play for Bayern Munich? Well, he was guaranteed to win things there. It's obviously a very good team and a very good league. But it's not the Premier League. Perhaps he in his mind's eye, he's picturing himself being the all-time goal scorer in the league and winning that Premier League trophy at some point in his career. You know, so Harry Kane, to me, needs to stay in English football so he can try and win that and get the Premier League title, and that will complete his career. He's one of the greatest English players of his generation, so it seems a shame that he would be going to the Bundesliga to play. He may well decide to stay for Spurs for another year and then go and move on somewhere else. That could easily happen, guys. I think that's definitely a possibility. So I hope that happens, because then it gives United more chance of signing him next summer. We definitely go in for him, try and sign him next year if he was available for free. We'd at least try. Not saying he would go to us, because like I said, I think every club would want to try and get him. Barca would have a go. Real would have a go. Bayern would have another go then. And it maybe would become a bit of a bidding war who's prepared to give him the most wages. And there's just some great clubs we just mentioned. So United wouldn't necessarily have free reign next summer at all. It would be everybody pretty much. Thank you very much there, Vachi. Says W stream, bro. Thank you very much there, Vachi. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, OP Dragon. Why would he stay? Well, to get more money in a year's time, Rajat, and then be able to go to any club that he wants. He's only going to go to Bayern this summer. It depends if he wants to go to Bayern and speak German. He can't even speak English, can he? They offered 400k a week. Yeah, well, United 90, I saw some reports to say that they even offered more than that. But it does depend. We don't know the intricacies of the deal. But I saw that he was being offered up to £25 million for a season, which is, that's 500 grand a week. Doesn't sound real, does it? Doesn't sound like Bayern would be prepared to pay him that. But let's just say it's 400 grand a week. Manchester United could certainly compete with that. And certainly in a year's time, if he was a free, we would certainly be competing with that as well. Berber says, when you're a kid, you dream of winning the Prem, not beating Alan Shearer's goals. He could do both for United, none in Deutschland. Spot on, Berber. You're absolutely right. Like I said, I don't think the Alan Shearer record is what's driving him. I think he's driven by getting some trophies now. Like you say, that's more important, isn't it, than an individual record of the most goals in the league. Completely agree with you, Berber. So I mean, what would you rather be? Would you rather be Alan Shearer, who won 1 Premier League title? Would you rather be Paul Scholes, who won 12? You know what I mean? Like, it's not about the amount of goals you score. It's about the victories. It's about the success. It's about the trophies. It's about part of being a part of a winning side. So I completely agree with you, bud. 400k a week doesn't sound like a Bayern contract to me, says the Cake Cadet. No, it doesn't, does it? You're absolutely spot on. You are right. But they do have some huge players there that they pay huge money to. But it does sound like they wouldn't pay that after paying 100 mil for the guy as well. That's huge investment they're talking about there. Maybe if he was on a free, they would pay that. But I agree. It does sound like a little bit of a BS story that he's getting 400 or 500k a week over at Bayern. But who knows? Apparently the personal terms are not the issue. So, Right, okay, so I'm just going to do a quick rundown of what we've discussed in this video, guys. Do us a favour, smack that thumbs up button on this video. Help us get to 200 likes, guys. We're almost at 150. Smash the thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Help us get to 200 likes. And I'm going to get into the live chat in a couple of minutes for a bit of a Q&A. See what you legends are saying about all the topics we've discussed. But I will do a quick rundown. Before I do, I'm going to go over to Twitter and shout everyone out who's given us a retweet. So pop over to Twitter, you legends, and give us a cheeky little retweet on this stream. 18 legends have given us a retweet. Shout out to Kieran Watts. Shout out to Guy Am Legend as well. Thank you for retweeting the show there, my son. Also, big love to the rest of the legends. Aaron Homeyard, Jaden, Transfers_UTD, Billy, Richard Wisterpeck, Kieran, John Boy Cat, Kane, Wonderboy, Dave Jason, Stephen Braun, Mark, Michael Paul, Berserker, United Red Devils 20, Luan France, Gungshi, Ryan, and Boomy getting in there raw. Thank you so much, every one of you legends, for retweeting the stream out there. That really does help us to spread the word of the show. 21 retweets in total. Thank you, lads and lasses. In fact, somebody else has just retweeted it. Let's see who it is. Shout out to FCHWPO, aka Bashta Zero, with a Paul Scholes avatar. Get in there, you beautiful legend. Let's go. Thank you for sharing the show. I appreciate you all. Get in there, you legends. A Chouamani! A Chewbacca! Excuse me, folks. Bless me. So yeah, thanks for that, guys. Let's get into the live chat for a bit of a Q&A then, see what you legends are saying. Actually, before I do, let's do a quick rundown of what we discussed. So, Hojlund, obviously officially unveiled today at Old Trafford. Get in there, my son. Happy days. Ten Hag said some nice quotes on Hojlund. He's just said things like that he thinks he's going to be obviously a great player for us and he has big potential. He said Rasmus has huge potential. He wants to score goals. He's hungry. It's always on his mind. Trust me, he has such a huge potential and now it's up to him to exploit it and we will support him, all coaches and teammates. So, you know, great words from Ten Hag. And then Hojlund said on Ten Hag a few bits and bobs as well, which isn't working right now. I forgot about that. No, that one's not working. But he also said that he's a fan of Manchester United. And it's no secret, he said, it's no secret that I have been a fan of this great club since I was a small boy. I dreamed of walking out at Old Trafford as a Manchester United player. I have the opportunity to work with one of the best coaches in the world. So getting there, Hojlund saying all the right stuff. Absolutely lovely stuff. And obviously Manchester United officially announcing it on all platforms everywhere that he is now officially a Red. Rasmus is a Red. Get in there, my son. Come on. The only negative thing about this whole situation is that he sustained an injury. He does have an injury at this moment in time, which is very frustrating. So he's actually joined us with an injury. He did pass his medical, though, so it can't be anything too serious. But this is via Fab that says that Rasmus Hojlund sustained a small injury in pre-season with Atalanta. He's not ready to play now. Training as always, but it would take a few weeks to reach match fitness. So we're expecting maybe towards the end of August or the start of September, he should be fully sharp and ready to play again for Manchester United. But right now, unfortunately, he's not, which is a big piece of bad news for us, really. I mean, it's not the end of the world. We're probably going to feature Rashford at the striker position for the first few games of the season, and we've still got Martial, but obviously he's an injury-prone melter. Rashford scored today. He did all right there. Certainly second half was much better. So we'll probably play with Garnacho on the left, Rashford up top, and Anthony on the right going into that opening game against Wolves. So it could be worse, but it is a shame that he is actually injured as he comes, and there's some reports that say that Hojlund travelled to London for extensive examinations on Thursday after a concern was flagged during the first part of his medical. So, yeah, that's what happened there, guys. Very frustrating. And then also just a report from Fab on Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay. We talked about this the other day, saying that it sounds like bullshit that they'd had long-distance medicals. Sound like absolute rubbish, to be honest. And that's what it's turned out to be. So Fabrizio says that Maguire and McTominay rumours, despite reports, I'm not aware of Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay undergoing medicals ahead of a move to West Ham at this stage. West Ham are focused on the midfield more specifically. So, yes, that's obviously not the case. I mean, it's very, very rare that you would conduct a medical when there hasn't even been personal terms agreed between players or fees agreed between clubs. So, yes, that did sound like bullshit the other day, and it turns out that it's more than likely bullshit. But apparently West Ham have requested some medical notes on Slabby Maguire. Interesting. Well, hopefully they are interested in Maguire and they do want to put another bid in for him. Apparently the interest is still there from David Moyes and West Ham, and that they are maybe opening up discussions and having talks about having Harry Maguire at the club and maybe having talks with Harry Maguire. So there's a little cheeky report online that says that West Ham are having talks with Harry Maguire, who has been advised to consider offers. David Moyes is prepared to make some promises to him to try and convince him. So hopefully that's true. Also, it's expected that Harry Maguire is going to go for, if he does go, at least about a third of what we paid for him. 4 years ago today, Maguire signed for Man United for £80 million. He remains the most expensive defender on the planet. Outrageous. 4 years of absolute guff with Slabo at the back. So it's a shame, isn't it? But we'll probably end up making, I don't know, I think about a third of that. Somewhere between 25 and 30 million back for the guy if we can actually sell him at all. So there you go. And like I say, apparently Levy's gone on holiday and left Bayern Munich on red. So we'll see about what happens with Harry Kane going forward. We doubt that United are going to try for him, but we'll see. So there's the latest afternoon transfer news, folks. I'm going to get into the live chat now for a few minutes, see what you guys are saying in regards to a little Q&A here. As always, drop a thumbs up. If you haven't, help us get to 200 likes. Smash the subscribe if you're new. Get your thoughts and opinions in and have your say. You think January Kane will be sold? I mean, they won't be able to get as much money in January, but maybe. 150 likes. Get in there, Stephanie Griffith. Let's be having you. Thank you, Rushmano. Yes, indeed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. That'd be awesome. You come to West Ham, Harry, says Gavin. Yeah, Hojlund will most likely be back for the international break, I suppose. Absolutely. Let's hope so. Yeah, let's hope so. It would be gash if he turns out to be an injury-prone player and he starts his Man United career with any other injuries or a long injury. At the moment, we understand it's only going to be a couple of weeks. Absolutely, Don Gungshi Glazer, shithouses out, my son. Andreas Suteru says, we need Greenwood, never injured. Can you imagine him with Garnacho, Pellistri and Hojlund? I can. I mean, it would be amazing on paper, wouldn't it? So, is he ever going to play for us again? United will hopefully give us that information soon. We're not going to talk too much about Greenwood at the moment because we've done that topic to death this week and it's boring. But, very interested to see what we decide as a football club. And on paper, like you say, imagine having those youngsters. Garnacho is like 19 on the left, who looks amazing. Hojlund, who's amazing and looks really good for the future. He's 20. And Greenwood, who's only 21 on the right. I mean, that would pretty much be awesome for the future for a long time, wouldn't it? Completely agree. And then you've still got players like Sancho and Anthony who are young wingers and stuff. And Pellistri. It would be absolutely insane, wouldn't it? Let's look at these great stats that Rushmano has sent us. So Rasmus Hojlund has more league goals and assists at 20 years old than Luis Suarez, Robin van Persie, Karim Benzema and Harry Kane. So as I say, don't compare him to those guys now. Compare him to those guys when they were his age. Harry Kane had 11 goals and assists when he was 20. Karim had 13. Robin van Persie had 16. Luis Suarez 22. Rasmus Hojlund 23 combined assists and league goals. Obviously it's in the Serie A, but even so, some of these guys were playing over in the Dutch league or whatever league they came from originally. So you've got to say, very impressive stats there from Hojlund for somebody his age. Absolutely agreed. Yeah, Rude Mark 2 even rocking up injured. Love that, absolutely. Oh, goodness me. Rashy striker, to be honest, Pranay Sunda. I do prefer Rashy striker. Sancho, I mean, I think Sancho should be played right wing. But we've got Anthony ahead of him at this moment. I think Sancho's best position is probably on the right wing. Certainly if you look at his history of his performances over in the German league, that's where he was doing most of his best work. Rashford's only 25 as well, absolutely. What about Amrabat? Okay, so the Amrabat situation is just still at the same place, really. I'd love to say we've advanced on that, but we're expecting to go in towards the latter part of this week and table an offer for Sofyan Amrabat. So he obviously wants to come to United. He's agreed to come to United, but we have to agree a fee with Fiorentina. There's a couple of clubs that are sniffing around him also. Reportedly, West Ham did have some interest in him. Also, even Bayern Munich, I've heard, have some interest in him, but that's probably PR spin. Man United still haven't made an approach, though, officially yet. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe after the weekend. But hopefully we will do soon, because it's known that Ten Hag wants to bring him to the football club. So soon enough, we should have more news in regards to Sofyan Amrabat. But as of right now, it's just the same situation. He wants to come. He wants to play for us. He's desperate to come and play for Ten Hag and United, and it's more than likely going to happen. But Man United still are yet to proceed with that bid or anything. But thanks for reminding me. I forgot to talk about Amrabat, so thanks for reminding me, bro. Rasmus about to get very well acquainted with Martial on the old physio table. Gavin says, can I ask why Maguire gets so much hate from United fans? Well, he's just not good enough for Manchester United. It's not necessarily his fault, but he was a flop, and he's just not very good. We will need to hold our noses while he's on the pitch for United, but our alleged woman beater isn't going anywhere. Maybe not Gregory Burke. We'll see. Ryan, all those goals didn't come in the Serie A. He was playing in Scandinavia, says Ryan. Well, that too as well, yeah. So he scored 9 goals in the last season for... these are goals and assists, Ryan. So goals and assists, that stat was. They were goals and assists. So we got 9 goals and 11 assists, I believe, last season in Serie A, and then obviously a few in the team before. So yeah, good shout, but a lot of them were in Serie A last season. Same people give stick to Rashid for being a bad striker, but he stepped up because we don't have one and is willing to work for the manager. Yeah, that's it. He's versatile. Yeah, I mean, I have Joshua. I'm not going to get into that at this moment in time, mate. It's just more guff, isn't it, personally? More guff. It's just guff, mate. Guff stories are coming out for clicks, mate. I'm not getting into it at this moment in time. Do you know Maguire was actually relegated twice in one season, says Berber? Was he really? What? With Hull and Sheffield United, was he, or somebody else? He's the definition of a relegation melter. Never been good enough. Has a few of them for FC Copenhagen. Yeah, only a few, though. Most of them are for Serie A. Don't know. He actually was presented on the Old Trafford pitch today with no shirt number. Don't know. Maybe I don't think he's taken the 9 off Martial. Don't think so. Maybe, though. He may well get the 17 after Fred's gone. Who knows? Yeah, definitely class comment about him stepping up. Absolutely. Absolument. Right then. Okay, let's read a couple more comments out there. I'm going to wrap this up. We've been on here for 1 hour and 7 minutes, and I'm pretty shattered, guys. I didn't have good sleep last night. I need to have a little nap between now and the evening show, 100%. But it's been a great little afternoon show. Just wanted to jump on and cover the latest news, guys. But a couple more comments I'll read out, then we'll have to wrap it up. Emmanuel watching from Namibia. Get in there, you legend. Thank you for tuning in from Namibia, bro. Shout out to you, man. Cheers, Emmanuel, for joining us. Martial, new slabhead. You think injury just to cover the fact we got him in late? We know with Eric Ten Hag, he likes to give players a couple of weeks. That's interesting, Shemian. Not really thought about that. Maybe he wants him to be settled and sharp. That's actually a really astute point you make there, Shemian. Not putting too much pressure on him too soon. I like your style, Shemian. That didn't even occur to me. You are an intelligent human being, lad. That could be the case. Subscribe to the channel, says Rushmano. Absolutely. Well, there you go. Rewarding mediocrity. Yeah, I hope Qatar are the new owners of Manchester United this year. It would be nice. Power nap. A lot of pressure for a 20-year-old. Yep, it is true. So who needs extra pressure when you're just coming in? Evening there, Mike Hill. What's going on, bro? Good afternoon, lad. Anyway, right, guys, I'm going to have to wrap this up. I'm going to wrap this stream up, but it's been a great stream. Smash that like before you go. Hit the old like button. Help us get to 200 likes. Also, smash the subscribe button if you're new to this channel today. Help us get to 73,000 subscribers. We're nearly there. It's been a fantastic day. Thanks for joining everyone with the watch-along earlier on. United came back second half and put in a really good display. Credit to Ten Hag and the lads. Thank you, Berber. Thanking all the moderators for getting in this stream this afternoon. Thanking all the members in green who have supported the channel through thick and thin. You're a bunch of legends. Thanks to everyone like Rushmano for sending us the updates throughout the show as well and giving us the latest lowdown on what's happening. I will get a fantasy league set up, Mark. No worries. I'll get that done soon. DJ Disco Dave, you legend, get in there, and everybody else as well. Thank you, Rushy. Remember, guys, we'll be back on for an evening show, usually around about 9:30, maybe 10 p.m.-ish, around about there tonight. Saturday night, we'll be doing a cheeky little transfer news show with the latest goings on. Hopefully there's some big news to discuss, some positive news to discuss. We'll see. But come and join us for that. Set your reminders. Check it out around about 10 o'clock. You know the drill. We'll be on to hang out with the community and discuss the latest transfer news, you legends. Good night. God bless. See you in a bit. I'm going for a nap. I'm absolutely shattered. I'm wan-mattered, lads and lasses. Time for a snooze. Back to bed for me. Had a really restless night and went to bed really, really late and then got up and did that watch along. I was a zombie for the first half of it. Yeah, thank you, Kieran. I'm off to sleep, lad. Have a great one, guys. Stay classy. Thanks so much for tuning in. Piggy loves you. Remember, thank you for getting in and come back after this video is finished and get your thoughts and opinions in about the topics we've discussed in this video. Come back afterwards and have your say afterwards. Make sure you smack that like button, thumbs it up, give us a subscribe, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch and Kick at Flying Pig United. And I'll see you later on for the evening show. Come on, United! See you on the next one. Stay classy. Piggy loves you. And I'll see you later, guys. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.